What is going on, everybody? This is Twigger coming at you guys with another high ELO commentary, this time focusing on Cris and also Evaniskus, two players from Velocity Esports who are one of the new challenger teams that came into the North American LCS. Going to be very, very cool to see because we're getting two kind of different champions. Fiddlesticks being the support. Evaniskus is the support player for Velocity Esports, but you don't really get to see him play a support Fiddlesticks, so going to be very cool to see what the support Fiddle can do. And also Cris up here in the top lane, he is the top laner for Velocity Esports, and he's going to be playing on Vladimir, and he is not overly known for his Vladimir play, so going to be kind of cool to see what he can do with the more AP idea of a champion. He was really known for people like Rengar and Riven before. He was considered like one of the best Riven players for a long time in Season 2. But he did recently in the LCS start picking up champions like Elise, but not really big on the AP champions, so maybe Vladimir will be one of his new picks for the LCS. I really like him as a player. He did play a little bit of Kennen, I believe, during their win against CLG, I believe. Now, I could definitely be mistaken here, but I think that was the case. So he does play a little bit of AP champions, but definitely not a lot of Vladimir. And even in his solo queue and his ranked stats, he's only played Vladimir maybe 30 times out of the like 1,200 games that he's played in ranked, anyways. So it looks like Karma's getting a little bit of a gank here from the Lee Sin, and Lee Sin waited the perfect amount of time. Karma was really waiting for Lee Sin to use that second part of his Q, and then she was going to flash over that wall to get away from him, but Lee Sin didn't take the bait from that one. He just walked right up to Karma and just kicked her in the face. Lee Sin taking away that small Wraith. What a huge play. And he's actually going to smite away the blue Wraith, so definitely setting Nocturne back a little bit. Lee Sin looks like he's doing pretty darn well. Is a couple minions down from the Nocturne, and actually now that I say the minion count, I should probably be setting this thing up. Who is it? It's a support Thresh, it's a mid lane Lux, top lane Zed, and I think we are good. There we go. So there we go, champions are set so everybody can see what's going on. So Nocturne doing a little bit of a gank here onto the Lee Sin, but Lux is coming back in. She is out of mana though, and very low on health, but Nocturne taking a ton of HP, taking a ton of damage, and the red buff on Lee Sin is definitely helping him out on that one. Karma's going to try to chase down this Lee Sin. He might have overextended a little bit here, but safeguard to a minion. The flash coming out of the Karma. Was it a good thing that she didn't use her flash previously? She does pick up the kill, so there's a kill down for the Lux, but now all of a sudden Lux wants to take on this Lux, but the red buff coming out of Karma is going to be enough to pick that one up. Great Q, and the great slow on the Lux, and a great dodge from that Lux Q, basically saving her life on that one. Karma now sitting at 2-1-0, definitely a good position to be in when you give up that first early kill, especially first blood to the likes of Lee Sin. Definitely good to take a counter gank and get 2 kills yourself. Really going to put Karma not only back into this game, but kind of in the lead in this game. So also kind of an unconventional pick, which we haven't talked about, is that Karma. This is the new Karma, so definitely not too old of a game. This is the new Karma with all of her changes and reworks, but I don't think we have seen her yet in the LCS. Don't know about the Asian scene, but can't really talk about that right now because Draven is taking a little bit of damage, and he's going to get that last hit. Is that going to be enough? Is the bleed going to be enough to kill this Thresh? He's going low, he's not going to be enough. Very, very low. I thought that Draven passive might have been able to take him out, but not really sure about the Asian scene in regards to Karma, but I know in the European scene and the North American scene, I don't think I've seen Karma get played in the LCS, and very rarely in the professional scene. So let's see how she can do against more of a standard mid laner as Lux. But here comes the ultimate from Zed trying to pick up Cris. He does pick up Cris, but the ultimate from Vladimir did go down, so there's going to be a bit of damage here, and Lee Sin is actually there for a counter gank. Vladimir sadly could not get away from that ultimate from Zed. And now Nocturne trying to do a little bit of damage here, maybe try to capitalize on the low health Zed, but nothing's really going to come from this one. And there's the first turret of the game, actually going for the blue team, taking down that bot lane turret against the Thresh Vayne combo. And it looks like Karma is really abusing this Lux with her red buff, which is definitely what you need to do if you get a jungle buff steal like that from the Lee Sin. And it looks like Karma is kind of suspecting this one, going to start running away, probably going to be out of range of the Lee Sin Q. I think he's still going to try to throw it in here. The speed buff coming out of the Lux, and yeah, this is going to be Little too far, but a great light binding hitting, and there's the ultimate coming out of the Lux, and does take her out, and now, Nocturne is not in a very good position here, does get the fear off, and now Thresh is here in the, in support of the Lux. Nothing gonna happen from the Nocturne. He actually did a lot more damage than I was expecting him to do to that Lux. I thought he was just jumping straight into his death, because his ultimate was already cast, but Lux hit a great light binding, and just dominated that Karma. Just barely hitting level 6. So, little chunk of damage, just sending in a little birthday favor over to Thresh there, saying like, happy birthday, but back the fuck off. And Lee Sin doing the smart move and stealing that red away from Nocturne. Really trying to advance his jungle lead here. And Lee Sin does manage to escape, so surprisingly the blue team didn't really react to Lee Sin coming down. They are running away now. Draven gonna have to flash away from that one, not being able to pick up his spinning axe, but here comes Nocturne. His ultimate is not available though. But neither is Lee Sin's. Here comes the drain from the Fiddle, doing a lot of damage to Captain Insano. And the Nocturne is going to be able to pick up that kill. So 1 for nothing. Not too bad for, I guess it technically was 1 for the red buff. So definitely a better trade in favor of that blue team. Nocturne picking up the kill on that one, putting him at 1-0-1. And look at the damage coming down out of this Karma to the Lux. And it looks like Lee Sin's actually going to smite away this blue buff. Kind of a surprising little turn of events there. Would have thought he would give that over to the Lux, but nope, I guess he feels like he might be a little behind or something like that. Cris actually going for his Ionian Boots of Lucidity first, along with 2 cloth armor. Looks like he's trying to play a little bit defensively here. Really wants to spam out his Q to keep his health up, but also have that little bit of armor just so he can survive the damage that's going to be coming out of Zed. And I am already in love with this game because Zed has just purchased a Tiamat. A Tiamat Zed. This is going to be fantastic. There's the ultimate coming out of Zed. The ultimate from Vladimir is down on him. Is the Ignite going to be enough to pick him up? There's the end-all, be-all with that Q, taking down Zed. And actually, the ultimate coming out of Fiddlesticks, I don't think he's going to be able to survive this one. The tower does take him out. Lux picking up that kill, and Lee Sin taking now his own red buff. So, nice little bit of action there. I didn't even see Fiddlesticks come up into that middle lane. So, great play on Evaniskus' part. And great play on Chris's part as well, knowing that he could dive that turret and use his pool to mitigate some of that turret damage. And I am so excited to see what a Tiamat's Zed is going to be able to do. Because he's probably going to be turning that into a Ravenous Hydra. I can't see him just keeping the Tiamats until the late game. I would expect him to upgrade that pretty early to kind of get an early spike in damage. Well, there's the ultimate being used by Lux. Wants to try to get these guys off the turret. And did actually do quite a bit of damage to Arthelon on that Karma. Probably going to have to send her back. Yes, he is going back right now. And Draven is just going to chill in the mid lane for a little bit. Cris taking a little bit of damage from this Zed. The Tiamat's proc, the active proc going off. Doing quite a bit of damage, but Cris is responding back here with the Seeker's Arm Guard. He actually has a lot of armor. So Zed just got completely kind of owned in that little engagement there. The trade really not working out in his favor. He's going to really have to chug those pots. And the good thing about being Vladimir is that Vlad doesn't really need the pots all that much because he's just going to heal up off of queuing minions. And it looks like Vlad is going to try to get in range of another Q onto Zed. Is he going to be in range? There's the Q, and enough to take down Searching. But we have a big fight going down in the mid lane. Now the Nocturne ultimate is going off, and it looks like Fiddlesticks is going to be absolutely annihilated. But here comes Nocturne coming in a long, long ways. The Fear getting off onto Lux, but Nocturne's going to have to run away from this one. The Vayne procs are going too far. Captain Insano on the Thresh being taken out by the Karma, but here comes the Lux ultimate picking up the Draven. I don't think they're going to have enough damage on this blue team to really do much here, but here comes Cris up from the top lane. The Vladimir ultimate is off on Lee Sin and the Lux. It is not going to be enough to pick up the Lux. I guess her shield was just enough, but Vayne being taken down by the Nocturne. What a brilliant Lux shield to save her from that one. It looks like Lee Sin overstayed his welcome and got killed by Cris. No assists actually on that one, so the Nocturne Q didn't even hit on that. It was just all Cris. But I believe that Lux used her barrier and her shield, which managed to mitigate enough damage from that Vladimir ultimate that she did end up surviving that one. So great play on her part, but also great play on Chris's part, coming all the way from that top lane to actually take part in that fight. But there's the ultimate coming out of the Zed. A little bit of overkill, I have to say. But I guess he just wanted to guarantee that that Karma was going to go down. So Cris is now on a killing spree, playing very, very well, as is Vladimir. 31184 CS to the 22075 CS of the Zed. And it looks like Zed's going to chill in mid lane for just a little bit. He has quite a few minions coming his way, so he'll probably be able to take down this turret before anybody reacts. And the scary thing, too, is that now Zed does have double buff. Definitely not the position that Vladimir's going to want to be in up in that top lane. Great little spinning axes by, the E. I can't even remember the E's name. Damn it, nope, this is going to bug me. Stand aside. Yeah, there you go. See, I got it before it came up, but Lee Sin jumping right into this Fiddlesticks, kicking him back. Evaniskus in a very bad position. The ultimate coming out from the Thresh. Here comes the Lux ultimate onto the Draven, and the final Silver Bolt proc from the Vayne, going to be the double kill. Definitely not the person you want to get a double kill on. Vayne is a very, very, very scary hypercarry, but look at the damage from that Q going off onto the Lee Sin, just saying hello and poking Lee Sin right in the face and just absolutely annihilates him. And here comes Karma again, really liking her odds against this the Vayne Lux Thresh combo, because they are all about half health. And Thresh is very, very low. The Q not landing, though. A great placement by that Lux, the Lux E, making sure that they weren't going to engage. They were going to be too slow. There's the flash coming out of the Vayne, but it's not going to be enough to pick anybody up. Kind of a weird position to be in. And Cris going in once again onto this. I think they're both going to kill themselves with the proc. So, oh no, actually, the proc doesn't go off for. Well, the proc doesn't kill Cris at least. And Thresh going down to that Karma as well. But great little engagement we had up top. It's actually really funny having Vladimir and Zed, because if they both cast their ultimates on one another, they could technically walk away from one another and then both kill each other. So it could be a very funny thing to see later on in the game when they start getting a lot of damage. But Cris definitely winning the engagements on this one. 4-1-1 to the 2-3-0 of the Zed, and starting to really pull away in the minion kills. But Lee Sin actually missing his Q onto the Karma, which would have been a sure death, but knocking the Karma up with his dragon kick. But now Lee Sin is in a horrible position. The full Evaniskus ultimate goes off on him. And Lee Sin does manage to land the Q, going to jump to Karma and kill her. What a great play on Lee Sin's part. So he does go down, gives a bunch of assists. Definitely not the best play, but does manage to get to that Karma and pick her up. So can't overly complain about getting caught out like that if you pick up a kill, but still really didn't want to get caught out there. Lux really wishing that she had her ultimate available, because she did hit that Nocturne with the light binding. And Cris is now farming behind Zed's turret. Zed sitting in a pretty bad position now, because he really has no way of stopping this Vladimir. It looks like Cris is now going to find Zed. The damage already coming out of his Q, doing about 1/5 of his damage. Now he's about half health, getting a great E on him as well. Vladimir's ultimate is not yet available. Still probably has about 5 seconds left on that cooldown, maybe 10 seconds. But I'm assuming that if Zed does not go back, Vladimir is just going to immediately dive that turret, probably with no second thoughts. Draven's ultimate is available, but he's probably not going to use it. Zed is going to get away from that when Evaniskus was coming up, just to see if he can make anything happen. But Cris doesn't really look like he needs too much help. Sitting with the highest minion kills, 129, 15 and 45 seconds into the game. Definitely a good position to be in. Already has a Giant's Belt, the Ruby Crystal, and the Blasting Wand, plus the Seeker's Arm Guard. So I'm going to look for him to finish up that... well, actually, no, because he hasn't built the Needlessly Large Rod yet. But, oh, here comes Lee Sin. Dragon Kick going into that Thresh. Cris is in a little bit of a bad position here. Does get his ultimate off on both Lee Sin and Thresh. And the Great Pool actually dodges the death sentence from the Thresh. The Lantern not being clicked by Zed. And it looks like Cris is actually going to escape this one. Nearly juked into the Q from Lee Sin, but does get away from that one. Not too bad. And here comes Cris, going to do a little bit of damage to the Vayne. I don't think anything's going to happen from this one. The triple Silver Bolt proc doesn't even get onto Evaniskus, so not really going to take him all that low. He's just going to use a pot. And Lee Sin is going to finish his recall. Didn't know if they were going to catch him in there, but Draven and Nocturne duoing that dragon, and there we go. Free dragon for the blue team. Extending their gold lead by, 5.5k, it looks like where their gold lead is at. Definitely where you want to be in this game. Cris sitting at about half HP, but once again, Vladimir, all he has to do is Q a few things, and he'll be pretty darn healthy. And fact of the matter is, Zed is a little far behind here, so I don't think he's really going to be able to do much against not only Cris by himself, but with Evaniskus there as well. I don't really think there's anything that Zed could do. He doesn't want to stay there for that fight. And the Tiamat, early Tiamat's purchase definitely doesn't seem to be helping Zed all that much. he is definitely going for that, going for the Blade of the Ruin King as well. He's really looking for that that kind of amplified damage from his ultimate with the procs of Tiamat's and of the Blade of the Ruin King. But I don't think, nope, the heal is not going to be enough for Evaniskus to survive that one. But the Vladimir ultimate is now off onto the Zed. But Lux coming down to do a gank in this bot lane, picking up the Karma. Nocturne trying to escape this one. If he gets his Q back up, he might be able to escape, but he does not have nearly any mana. There's a flash coming out of Lee Sin, but his Q actually missing, but the shutdown coming down from the Lux, picking up that shutdown bonus. And it looks like Zed actually managed to survive that little engagement with Cris and Evaniskus while picking up the kill. Definitely what he needs if he wants to get back into this game. 3-3-0 with 108 CS, so not doing a horrible job, but looks like he's going to try to complete that Blade of the Ruin King. Kind of a scary position for him to be in because he really is not tanky in the slightest. So if Cris gets his full combo with that Ignite off on him, it's going to be very, very difficult for him to survive, even with the lifesteal coming out of the Blade of the Ruin King when he finishes it. But he hasn't even finished that. He really just has the Bilgewater Cutlass, and a little bit coming from the Tiamats. Taking a look at gold here, Cris and the Karma are actually quite even in gold, 6.8k to 6.5k. Those two leading the blue team with their gold, and leading the purple team 6.3k for the Lux. Looks like it's going to increase that a little bit more. The Vayne actually picking up that kill, but a great little combo onto the Karma. She nearly picked up the Vayne, so definitely have to be a little bit wary about how much damage the Karma is doing. Draven ultimate completely whiffing. Not what he wanted there. And red team looks like they're going to try to advance a little bit here. The Q landing onto Evaniskus, but the Fear is probably going to go off. They have Fear and a Terrify. Actually, I think it's 2 Fears, but Evaniskus taking so much damage. There's the Unstoppable for Lux. Great light binding just to hold him in place again. And that's the thing, Evaniskus is really not tanky at all. He really has to get his life drain going if he wants any hope of surviving. But a kick coming down and the stun going down onto the Draven, and a light binding catching him as well. He had nowhere to go. He couldn't even move. So much CC on this red team if they land all of it. And we're getting some great kicks from this Lee Sin. But here comes the ultimate from the Vladimir onto the Zed. Cris just going to pool away. So is that what it does? If you pool during that, the proc actually doesn't even hit. So Cris has been playing this extremely well. But Karma picking up a kill onto the Lee Sin. Looks like we're going to continue the fight down here. Nocturne actually getting picked off a little bit. Is he actually going to die? He's going to use his Q to try to run away from here if Vayne catches up to him, which she will because she does have her ultimate on and she is chasing him. Looks like he actually manages to juke out of the way a little bit, prolonging what might occur. But here's the damage coming down. No, is he going to escape this one? Yes, they do have vision in the brush, and Vayne's going to get that last little auto attack off. So they did manage to pick up the Lee Sin kill in that mid lane, but that's all they picked up. And Cris now looking for Thresh. I don't know if he's actually going to be able to pick this one up. Thresh does not have any boots, while Cris does. But Cris not going to chase that one as far as he needs to. I don't know if he just felt like he wasn't going to catch Thresh, or maybe he felt like he was going to run into a Lux trap, or who knows what Cris was thinking. If I could get into the mind of his head, yeah, I guess that kind of technically works. The brain of his head is probably better, but I am blabbering. Cris going to go B. He did finish his Rylai's Crystal Scepter, so it just makes him that much more tanky, but sitting at 5-1-1, I think Cris needs to start focusing on some big damage items, because if he goes now for the Zhonya's Hourglass, he, yes, is going to be incredibly tanky, and he's going to be very, very hard to kill, and he'll do some decent sustained damage. But he won't be doing the amount of damage that I think that he needs to do to the entire enemy team. That Vladimir ultimate is very, very important to have down just because of the amplification of damage. But it looks like Evaniskus and Cris are going to come in here. The Ghost being popped and the ultimate being used by Evaniskus. The Fear going down. He is definitely not going to survive this one. But Evaniskus might actually be taking down the Drain. Not enough to get through the Zed damage. And Cris just going to use his last Q and get that dominating bonus. The Draven ultimate was a little too late for that one. So maybe if the Draven ultimate had hit earlier, might have been able to save Evaniskus there. But he is just going to be taken down very, very quickly. So, looking at Evaniskus' build, picking up that Morellonomicon, interesting little build there. There's not really a whole ton of heals. There's basically none. It's really just the lifesteal coming out of Zed's items and the Lee Sin's Safeguard Iron Will combo, and any lifesteal that might be on the team like Vayne, but don't really know if that's the best purchase to have right now, because he's not really doing a whole ton of damage. He's very far behind. Not sure. Once again, can't get in the heads of these professional players, so maybe they know something that I don't. And they know a lot that I don't know. So looks like blue team losing their gold lead a little bit here. Only about 4K off now for that red team. And Baron is now starting to become a real threat. It is 22 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, and now you have a bunch of very strong people on both teams. Lux sitting at 8-2-5, really kind of dwarfing the power of Vladimir and Karma. But it looks like without Dragon being warded, this is going to be a free Dragon for blue team, but it looks like they're not actually going to finish it yet because they believe that an engagement is going to happen here. The ultimate Q combo coming out onto the Lee Sin, and the Nocturne coming out as well. The flash coming out of Lee Sin actually escaping that one. Even the Q doesn't pick her up, but Evaniskus picks up Lee Sin with that bouncing bird. And it looks like Draven is going to try to do some damage here onto the Thresh. I don't think he's going to escape this one. He does have his flash available and does get over, but there's the double kill from Draven using that ultimate, picking that one up. Pretty easy ultimate for him. Don't think they're going to go for Baron here because Zed is currently pushing down that top turret. Definitely doing what he was supposed to do. But there's the actual flash coming out of Draven. I think he's going to try to chase down this Lux, but he's going to start taking a lot of turret shots. And there's a light binding. This is going to be a kill for the Lux. Man, he got way too greedy on that play. Draven really thinking that he could take down that Lux, but I guess didn't realize how... well, she did have her barrier and she did have her flash, so Draven just getting very, very aggressive trying to pick that one up. And he didn't flash over the light binding, the original light binding. If he had done that, he might have stood a chance, but got hit by that one, took a bit of damage, and then got hit by the second one. Really not the best juking job I've seen from an ADC, but, well, feed the Lux, right? 9-2-5. But there's the ultimate coming down from the Fiddle, doing a lot of damage to this Vayne. She was getting very aggressive onto Nocturne. And Evaniskus, once again, picks up a kill. I think it's actually pretty important that Evaniskus gets a couple kills, but there's a safeguard coming out of the Lee Sin. He does miss the Q. Evaniskus had a great dodge there, going to just fear Lee Sin away. Going to probably save him and Nocturne from that one. And here comes the ultimate down from the Zed. That's going to be enough to pick off that Karma. Having the, and that's exactly what he did. He got that ultimate off, used the Tiamat's proc, the active proc, and the Blade of the Ruin King active proc, and there's going to be so much damage coming out of that ultimate. But what I was saying before, I think it's actually a very good thing that Evaniskus is picking up a couple of these kills because he was quite far behind, being 0-6-7. So, definitely a good position for him to be in. Picks up an Oracle's Elixir for his team. Definitely what you want to do when it comes to this late in the game. And he did pick up those 2 kills, so he wasn't starving for cash. And that is definitely the purchase that you want to make because now Baron is becoming a real kind of pressure on the map. It's going to be the next objective that these teams are looking to do, and having that Oracle's Elixir to clear out that Baron and being the first team to clear out that Baron is a very, very important thing. Kind of gives you that initial control of it. And clearing out these wards is going to put the red team on edge, hopefully cause them to make a couple errors, and the blue team hopefully can capitalize from that. And one thing we did see from a Fiddlesticks support previously in the LCS, can't exactly remember who played the Fiddlesticks support. I believe it was in day 1. I'm not going to be able to remember this one, but he purchased a Oracle's Elixir just so it made it very clear that he was not waiting to use his ultimate in a position where he wasn't going to be able to... wasn't standing and ulting into a trap or anything like that, but we have a great fight going down into the mid lane. Lux already picking up that Karma, doing so much damage with her ultimate. Nocturne ultimate going straight in onto that Vayne. The Draven ultimate being called back a little bit early, but the Vladimir doing so much damage to this team. Vayne being picked off very easily, and it looks like Captain Insano, that Thresh going to be picked up as well. And Lisa now trying to run away from this one, but the fears are just too much. Evaniskus is now on a killing spree, and a great ultimate coming out of Chris, a great Zhonya's out of Chris, survives the Lux burst. And there's the Evaniskus ultimate picking up that Lux. Draven getting the kill on that one, and that was a big deal having that fight work out for blue team so close to the red team's base, 4-for-1, because now they're just going to be able to push up. I don't believe that they're actually going to be able to win this game, but they're going to do a lot of damage to this base, getting that first inhibitor, and I wouldn't be surprised to see blue team go for that Baron, and as I'm saying that, there's the ping onto the Baron. Definitely a smart choice, and I'm glad to see it actually. Chris did finish his Zhonya's, but he did also get a Haunting Guise, so getting a little bit of Magic Pen there, so he will be doing quite a bit of damage, especially with that ultimate. When you have that ultimate with the Draven ultimate comboed in as well as the Fiddlesticks ultimate, as long as the Vladimir ultimate goes down first, your team is going to do a ton of damage. So there is a ward from the red team here. Evaniskus is going to clear this one out, so now they are blind, and it looks like Zed is going to try to chase down this Vladimir. But there's a shutdown bonus, so a 7-2-5. The shutdown bonus going on to the Zed. Not the person you want to get that shutdown bonus. He's going to be able to pretty much erase somebody from the map. And it looks like the red team is now going to try to take down this Baron. Surrender vote coming out of the red team as well, but that failed pretty much half and half. And the blue team have no idea, it seems, that this is going on. They don't have any wards. Nobody placed down a ward. They were at Baron, and nobody placed down a ward to see that this was going on, and people went B. The red team has now gotten themselves a free Baron and a kill to boot. Nocturne going down on that one. Bit of damage going down from the Lux ultimate, but not really enough to do anything. And Lee Sin jumping into this one. I don't know what he was expecting to do, trying to start a fight here for his team. But there goes... Evaniskus is going to use a great ultimate to get over top of that wall, managing to survive. And now it looks like Thresh is in a bad position. The Draven's going to pick up a double kill there, taking down a couple people with that Baron. But I just cannot believe that the blue team didn't put down any wards when they were at Baron. They cleared it out. And didn't put down any wards themselves when they left. So free Baron, well, not free Baron, I guess. 2 for 1 Baron, plus Baron for the red team. And the problem is the critical people on this red team have Baron. Yes, they took down Lee Sin and Thresh, but all your carries, Vayne, Zed, and Lux, all have this Baron buff now. So, yes, they got a couple kills there, but this is definitely not going to be a walk in the park for this blue team. They really can't be as aggressive as they want because they are going to be taking a lot of damage from the Vayne, Lux, Zed. And Zed now with that last Whisper and the Brutalizer, he is pretty much going to be able to erase anybody he wants off the map. I think Cris is really, really hoping that Zed tries to pick Cris because he does have that Zonia, so he can dodge all the damage out of that ultimate and hopefully save a member of his team. A great fear going down onto the Lee Sin, stopping his safeguard to kit combo, trying to initiate a fight there. And it also took half of his HP from the Karma and the Nocturne. And now Cris taking a little bit of damage, but here comes the Nocturne ultimate. This is the engage that they were looking for. Lux going to be not actually the focus here. They want to try to take down this Vayne, but Nocturne taking so much damage. And Evaniskus actually being taken down before he got to use his ultimate. Cris using his Zonias to try to survive the burst damage coming out onto him, but the Q from Lee Sin ends up landing. But Cris is going to take him down before he can actually kill Cris. Light binding actually missing. I'm saying actually too much. I tend to do that when I'm panicking. Cris is just trying to dodge everything that Lux is throwing out. He is so low, but here comes Zed. I don't know if it's going to be enough to kill Cris. It is not. That Shuriken was not enough to kill Cris. They're just going to walk away from this one. 3 for 2 in favor of the blue team. And they did also take down Vayne, which is definitely a big deal because there's the Baron buff going out. So when you can fight the enemy team and win when their major carries have the Baron buff, definitely a position you want to be in. And it looks like Draven is going to have to run the hell out of this one. There's the Shadow coming out, and the Lux ultimate doing so much damage. I don't think Draven's going to be able to survive this one, but he does take down the Zed. He is actually going to survive. No, he's not going to survive. Sorry, I'm bouncing back and forth like a game of Pong up in here. Lux taking down that Draven. His lifesteal was actually enough to take down the Zed, but not enough to get through the E of the Lux. The ultimate from Lux doing a ton of damage onto Draven, so he definitely needs to be wary of that one. But does pick up a kill for that one, and so not the worst position to be in, but certainly not the best. What can you say? Looks like Vladimir, Fiddlesticks, and Nocturne heading up to this top lane. Want to see if they can make something happen. They are currently missing Karma, but Vayne is also missing from the red team. There's the combo coming out of Lux, not managing to hit anybody. She was really hoping to hit somebody there to do quite a bit of damage. They did have that brush warded, so it was not just like a random throw to hope that you could burst somebody down. They were really just hoping that they were going to walk the other way. And it looks like blue team is really favoring their odds here, which is kind of scary, I have to say, because right now they don't have Draven. And now it's 5 versus 4 in this fight, but Lee Sin taking a lot of damage. Evaniskus is going to try to run around, going to pop his ultimate going into this enemy team. Thresh taking a ton of damage, and also Zed taking a whole whack ton of damage as well. Currently nobody down for the blue team, but 2 down for the red team. Vayne picking up Cris finally, and the Vladimir ultimate going to pick up the Vayne. Lee Sin jumping in once again onto Evaniskus, but his lifesteal is going to be enough to keep him alive. And I don't think, oh, Luck's going to pick up the Nocturne as well, and Lee Sin is not going to have enough to take down the Fiddle. Is the Bouncing Blade going to be enough to pick off the Lee Sin? No, the Luck Shield is going to keep him alive, but it looks like Draven might be able to keep this turret alive. He already has his double Bouncing Blades. No, he does miss one, but he's going to be able to pick up this inhibitor. So overall, worthwhile fight. And it looks like Draven wants to try to pick off this Lee Sin, and the Lux ultimate going to miss. He's trying to lifesteal as much as he can because I think Draven could take down both of these players if he gets enough health back. And there's the Q onto Evaniskus with the fear coming down at the perfect time, not allowing Lee Sin to even get the E off to do the extra little bit of damage to pick off Fiddlesticks. Gets absolutely shredded by that Draven, so great little last pickup for the blue team. So it was actually a pretty good engage. They got more kills. They got that inhibitor down. Can't really complain about that one. I was very nervous for that one because it was a 5v4 for the majority of that fight, but great to have a Draven come in and clean up that fight. And he's now sitting at 202 minions. Got 2,300 gold in the bank. Only 2,000 gold behind Cris. Cris, though, sitting at 295 minions, still leading the game in his CS. And Draven opting to go for that GA. You don't really see Guardian Angel being picked up very much in professional games anymore in the LCS. I don't know why, but people have just kind of moved away from it, even after it got the change in I guess the formula, the ingredients of it. There you go, the ingredients. Even though that got changed up, people still going for other defensive items. Cris now going in 3v1 against this team, 4v1 against this team. He does pick up the Vayne, but he's probably going to lose his life to this one. But doing a ton of damage to Lux. I can't believe it. He's just kind of life-stealing away from this one. Nearly picks up the Lux as well. Cannot believe how much damage he was doing. But the Draven ultimate being thrown very, very randomly. I guess he was just trying to pick up the minions there. Surprised to see that he didn't throw it over to the fight down bottom and maybe try to pick up that Lux. But oh my god, Nocturne being absolutely obliterated by the Zed ultimate. And Zed is now very, very low, but nobody's going to be in range to pick that one up. But hopefully Draven will be able to pick off this turret. It does have one shot remaining. There's the turret going down. So overall worth it. They only lost 2 for 1 kill in the turret. But there's the unstoppable Lux getting that full combo out onto the Karma. It's going to absolutely obliterate her. And Lee Sin going to land the Q onto Draven. He is lacking in energy right now, but a great ultimate coming out of Fiddlesticks, but he is just going to get absolutely popped, and there's a Guardian Angel being broken by, well, who's going to pick that one up? Ace from the Lux. Great little fight there, and guess what's up, folks? Baron is up. Not good. That was not the time that blue team wanted to lose a team fight that convincingly. So Thresh and Lee Sin going to make their way over the wall. Zed also made his way over the wall here, but I think Lux wants to get over there because they do want a little bit more damage on this, because here comes Cris, and Cris did very well against 4 full HP members of this team, and it looks like he's going to try to pick this one up. The smite going down, but it wasn't actually the thing that picked him up, but there we go. Lee Sin does pick up the Baron, and there's a double kill. Zed picking up the Nocturne, and Lux picking up the Vladimir. Damn, there's a lot of action going down in these past couple minutes of this game. And Lee Sin finally picking up his Spirit of the Ancient Golem. Kind of an early game item that he's now finally finishing. Interesting to finish that up kind of this late into the game. So we are sitting at 35 minutes and 30 seconds. 61.3k for the blue team, 57.9k for the red team. 8 turrets to 3 turrets, 36 kills to 37 kills. This is a very, very intense game. The main thing keeping blue team afloat right now is the huge difference in tower kills. They did pick up that inhibitor. They've kept that inhibitor down. So the red team has not really been able to capitalize on many of the team fights that they've won. But now Karma is in the middle of this team, 2v1. And there's the light binding. There's the full combo, just going to pick up Karma again. I don't know what the blue team is thinking, doing these 1v2s and 1v4s. And they're being very, very aggressive by themselves. And the red team is responding perfectly by just traveling as a team. And I'm especially surprised to see somebody like Karma doing that, because Karma knows, it's happened to her like 3 times now, that if Lux gets her full combo onto Karma, Karma's going to die no matter what. And just looking at the difference between these two mid laners, 18-3-11. You heard that right, 18-3-11 with 272 minion kills. But there's the ultimate going down onto, and there's boom! And it was actually the Zed ultimate that picked up that kill. and Cris now in a bad position trying to escape this one, but a lot of damage coming down, and the Q landing from Lee Sin isn't going to be enough. The Vladimir is trying to heal off of this one, but the kick actually being dodged by the pool out of Cris. He's doing a great job avoiding this one, but the kick finally does come out, and there's the ace for the red team. Lux picking up Evaniskus on Fiddlesticks. Man, this is, the whole game has turned after these past couple team fights. And red team is now looking so strong. They have 30 seconds until Draven and Nocturne, the big threats, are coming out. It is just Karma to try to defend this one. I would not be surprised to see, but there's a full combo once again coming out of this Lux. I told you that Lux, if she gets caught, if Lux catches that Karma in the full combo, she's going to die, and this is going to be GG for the red team. So I cannot seem to grasp how this happened. It was just one bad team fight after another bad team fight, a couple bad plays, and now all of a sudden the blue team has lost this game. So incredible game played by this red team. Lux sitting at 23-13 for the final score. Unbelievable score for that Lux. Played such a great game. I have to hand it to Cris, though. He had a great game as Vladimir, even though he doesn't play it too frequently. I think he should definitely bring that into the LCS because he did very, very well on him. And Evaniskus on Fiddlesticks had a bit of a rough start at the beginning, but did manage to pick it up at the end, getting that 4-9-16, and Cris ending up 11-6-8. So not a bad game for you guys. Definitely watch the LCS, the North American LCS, I should say, for Velocity Esports. They're a very entertaining team to watch, and they have some great champion picks like you saw in this game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the high ELO commentary, and I will see you guys in the next one.